Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I am going to do the Tarot Collective for today. Today is Tuesday. It is July 21st, 2026. You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, God's kiss. We love that for you. Whatever doesn't, just leave it on the table for someone else. You don't need to take on energy that wasn't meant for you, okay? This is the Everyday Apocalypse Tarot by Hattie Thorne. You can find this at hattiethorne.com. She also has an Etsy shop. I have 2 copies of this deck because I love it. And I knew I loved it before I even started using it. And I remember when she put it on her website for sale, and I had it in my cart. And it was funny because I left it in my cart for a few days. And I went back and it was still in there, and I paid for it, went through the whole process of ordering it. And then when it was done and I went back, it's almost like it just went back and my thing was still in the cart, even though I literally just bought it and paid for it. And it was like sold out. And I was like, sold out. And I was like, did I buy the last one? And then I thought, oh no. What if it was sold out and I ordered it and it let me order it even though it shouldn't have? And then she's going to be like, there's no decks left. I got a deck. She sent me the deck. And then what? I think like 6 months later, I ordered the second one. The second copy. We got 2 on the table. Somebody's hoarding their abundance, or somebody feels like somebody is hoarding their abundance. Isn't that everyone's right if they want to hoard their own abundance? I don't know. What is this? Not that I'm saying like I would do that. I'm just saying that's everybody's right to do whatever. It's your abundance, whatever that is for you, right? Let's see what else comes out here. Because I feel like that's somebody feeling that way. Because why would you know what I mean? I mean, I guess you could feel like you need to hoard your abundance, but somebody's watching another person and they don't like their abundance, and they don't like the fact that they're coming off as popular, because I'm hearing the song Popular from Wicked. Popular. I actually like that song. I haven't heard that song in a long time. Yeah, like somebody's jealous. Somebody's jealous of somebody, basically. Yeah, look at that. Somebody is pissed off. Somebody is pissed off that somebody continues to grow. That somebody continues to manifest for themselves. Well, that's shitty. Why would you be pissed off about that? Here's the thing. There are plenty of people right now that I don't like, especially at work, in reference to the whole thing with the guy last year and the friends. And I just realized today, I think there's one other person there that I can't freaking trust. I can't talk to them. Not after what I witnessed today. Not that I'm going to stop talking to her. I'm just not going to tell her anything personal. Yeah, like either someone or a bunch of someone's is pissed off. Because it's like they're watching somebody rise and they're like, okay, well, how come it's them? Like that same fucking attitude as always. What I was going to say, I didn't finish my thought. Even the people that I don't want to have anything to do with at work, the guy that I was in love with, the friends. I don't wish them any ill will. Am I pissed that things happened the way that they did? Yeah. Am I pissed that I didn't wake up sooner? Yeah, of course. But like I've said in the past, like I give people 2, 3 chances and then that's when I call it quits. So I finally called it quits with the last one, the female in February, March. Um, I don't feel bad about it, you know. I don't wish them any ill will. I kind of wish that they would grow the fuck up, you know, live their own lives and quit watching mine because I'm not their friend anymore. I sure as hell was never a love interest. So go watch somebody else, you know? Like that's how I feel about the situation. But anytime there's a whiff in the air, like, oh, Kim's doing this or oh, Kim's doing that. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I can't remember. Probably almost 3 weeks ago, I want to say. I brought some hand wraps for my friend at work because she wants to box with me. And then I brought my 2 pairs of boxing gloves for her to kind of try on and see like how they are. And then last week for her birthday, last week for her birthday, we went to Dick's Sporting Goods and I bought her a pair of gloves. And I also bought my blow up punching bag, which made me order another one for inside the condo. So now I can just punch the bag in the condo if I want to do that. Yeah, I love boxing, y'all. I love it. And I just do my own thing. I mean, I watch videos on how to correctly box and I do the poses and the strikes and all that, but I would rather just like fucking fight it out like Dukes of Hazzard style or something. Like and my friend at work, the guy that helped me start, you know, the guy that's a boxer, he's been boxing for like 20, 30 years with his friends. One of his friends is a professional. Um he told me, he's like, you should be practicing, blah, blah, blah. And I looked at him and I said, sir, I'm a street fighter. And he goes, oh, okay. I was like, I'm fighting for the streets out here. Um, anyway, I brought the gloves and I brought her the hand tape for her to keep because I had a couple rolls of that. And it's just cloth that you wrap around your hand before you put your glove on. That way you don't fuck up your hand is the idea. You could still technically fuck up your hand, but whatever. It's supposed to be better for your hand. And if you wrap it like you wrap your wrist so you can keep like your wrist from like getting messed up, it's probably a smart idea. Um, so I had her trying on the gloves and stuff. And 2 tables over was the 2 friends. Well, no, one of the friends, the other one was off that day. It was a Thursday. The guy that I was in love with, the guy that I nominated, two of the guys I think that I nominated for Employee of the Month. And my friend and I were trying on the gloves and we're looking online to see a different fit for her, like how the gloves all range in size and stuff. And then my other friend came over and we're all standing there chatting and talking and she's trying on the gloves and she's looking online and they're all sitting over there watching. Like, yeah, people have lives. That's right. Like my love life was not fulfilled last year. Like I didn't get to be with the person that I wanted. Oh, woe is me. I'm going to lie in bed for the next 20 years and cry myself to sleep. Oh, no, wait. I'm going to invest all that love that I would have given to him into me. And now look at me. People are so clueless. But here's the thing. Like, I don't wish them any ill will. I wish them healing. I wish for them to move on. I was watching a reading by this lady yesterday, this reader. I swear to God, the last 2 to 3 weeks, all of her readings have been about that situation with me and the guy. Like they just totally resonate. And I got on there yesterday and I said, I love your readings. I said, but I'm just so sick of this. Like I did move on last year. Like I did not wait for him. I mean, I waited for conversation because I thought he would at least want to have a conversation, but he didn't. So other than that, like I did not wait for him. You know, I dated a guy. I had the guy come back from the past. I finished writing my book. I took my Reiki course and got my certification from the Reiki Institute. I took classes in January and February for herbal. Well, I'm doing the herbalism now, but like the doula coaching and all that kind of stuff. Life coach. I got my certification as a life coach. Like I did all these things with my time. And they thought what? That I was just sitting there crying and waiting? And I think the thing is when people realize that's not the case, they get pissed off. They get pissed off because the whole time they have it in their head, oh, I fucked so and so over. They must be really upset. They must be at home sleeping all day. When in reality, you're moving on with your life and you're channeling all that negative energy into positive energy for yourself. And then when they finally see it, with their own eyes, it's like, you mean you have a life? Yeah, I have a life. It may not be the life you want, but it's my life and I love it. And that's good enough for me. Somebody or someone's really does not like somebody being in the position that they're in. We have 6 cards on the table. We have 1 major. Okay. We're going to do 2 more shuffles. And then I'm going to show you the cards. We got 7 on the table. We have 2 majors. No reversal. We got 1 more shuffle. Last shuffle. Yeah, you guys know, if you follow, if you subscribe, I've said it so many times. I don't understand why people think that people should wait for them, why they think people should be in the dumps over them. And it's not to say that, I wasn't brokenhearted last year. I was. I really was. It's just, I can't sit in that energy that long. I just can't. I loved my ex-husband. And I invested a lot of time in him, in our relationship. And when that didn't work out, I swore to myself that if I ever got in another relationship and it wasn't working and I could just sense something was off, that I'm out the fucking door. I'm not waiting around. I'm just not waiting around. Why would I wait for somebody that couldn't even talk to me about what happened? Couldn't even tell me, no, Kim, it was in your head. Like, I wasn't interested in you. He couldn't say anything. Like, the man could not say nothing. But you think I'm waiting around? Like, really? All right, let me pick up this card off the floor. We've got 11 cards on the table. All right. Oh, okay. We've got 11 on the table and we have 3 majors, no reversal. All right, let me show you what we got. We got 4 of Pentacles. We've got 10 of Cups. We've got the Star. Someone could feel like whoever the Star is, right? Whoever the 10 of Cups person is, they could feel like they're alone, People that generally heal and work on themselves typically tend to have less friends, less community. If you haven't found your soul tribe, right? So they tend to be alone more often than not. We got Page of Wands. I mean, it's energy vampires and codependent people that always need to surround themselves with other people. I'm not saying don't have friends. I'm not saying don't go out to a party. I'm not saying, don't go to a gathering. I'm just saying, like, it's a lot easier to keep your energy to yourself. It's a lot cleaner that way. We've got King of Cups. We've got 4 of Swords. We've got the Magician. We've got the Lovers. We've got 8 of Swords. We've got Knight of Pentacles. And bottom of the deck, we've got 6 of Cups. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. So I think there's a person or there's a group of people watching this 10 of Cups, this Page of Wands, this Magician, really stand out. Somebody is standing out for sure. And I think people are really in their head about this. Trapped in their head. And some people can't fathom it. Some people can't figure out how to manifest that for themselves. Some people, it's not even necessarily laziness. For some people, like they literally just can't conceptualize an idea from start to finish. Like, this is how it's going to work and this is what I'm going to do. Some people can't do that. They just can't. I don't think it's necessarily even something to blame them for. Like on one hand, I kind of feel bad because you can't, like you can't figure out your own shit. But really, when you think about it, people can't. Like, people have issues, and there's so many issues with like mental health and anxiety and all that kind of stuff that someone actually coming up with an idea and following through from start to finish. I'm not saying it's few and far between. I think it's a hell of a lot more than I would think. But at the same time, you got to look at all those people that have those issues. Is it really going to be easy for them to do all that? No. Blockages, right? Readers always talk about blockages. Those are blockages, mental health, all that stuff. It's kind of funny because I look at this 6 of Cups and I just feel like whoever this 10 of Cups, Star, Page of Wands, Magician, Lover, whomever they are, like they're just living their life. They're just, possibly using their insight from past situations to build upon their future, their present and their future. Okay, that's a fancy word, but I just heard they're ruminating. Yeah, I just snorted. I don't think the Lovers is necessarily a person coming in for this Star, 10 of Cups, Page of Wands, Magician. I don't think it's a lover situation. I think the lover situation is the stardom, is the uprising, is the transformation. Like, I think somebody manifested for something and something's coming in. And to me, divinely guided. Not that somebody didn't work hard, right? I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying things are meant to be. You guys know, I don't believe in chances. I don't believe in coincidences. Only fate, destiny. It's just my opinion. And I think whoever is watching this person and, like hoping they fail, basically, this King of Cups and this Four of Swords, I think they're really hoping somebody becomes, is that word a word, divested? Uninvested? That somebody's going to leave behind like their 10 of Cups. Again, whatever their abundance is, whatever that is for them. Like they're hoping, they're believing that somebody's going to lose what they invested in. With the King of Cups, connection lost, it says. Like they're hoping somebody loses out on something. That's sick. And let me use it in love respect, right? Because I was just talking about the guy I was in love with last year and the two ladies. So I walked away from that situation last year. I have not, other than possibly thanking the guy I was in love with for filling my boxes at my pick station, or saying you're welcome when I was picking for him when he was on his lunch like 2 months ago. I don't talk to him. Okay. When he had no desire to have a conversation, when he did not make a move towards me, when he didn't call, didn't write, nothing, I moved on. Okay. I moved on. I did not move towards him. I did not stalk him. I did not wait for him. None of those things. None of those codependent type things. He could be with the one friend. Like I said before, she has a long-term companion, a man that she's been with for like 15, 17 years. Her daughter's like 14, 15. Her son is like 12, 13. She has 2 teenage kids. Okay. She's still in her connection with her man. She's, whether she's seeing the guy I was in love with or they're just friends, I would have no idea. It's not for me to assume. It's not for me to judge, because if you follow, if you subscribe, I've told you guys before, I cheated on the ex-husband. It's not for me to judge any of that. I've told you guys this too, if you remember, that I had asked God, did he ever have feelings for me? And God was like, yes, he did. And I said, okay, so what is the deal here? Like, why is this not? And his response to me was that this guy has lessons to learn. And unfortunately, I'm not the one to teach them all to him. Or fortunately, however you want to look at that, right? He has lessons to go through. And that's that. Like, he's younger than I am. There's an age gap there. Like, we're both in different points in our lives. And I wholeheartedly believe that this woman is going to be a lesson for him. I wholeheartedly believe it. Whether they get together and then she goes back to the ex, whether she never leaves the guy and gets with the guy from work and doesn't say anything, I don't know. But something is going to happen, and it's going to, and I'm not saying this lightly. I'm not saying this to be mean. And I don't know 100% for sure, but I have this gut feeling, right? Like, I have the feeling that something is going to go, he's going to get into a relationship with her. Something is going to go wrong after however long, weeks, months, years, I don't know. And he's going to have done unto him exactly what he's done unto me. And maybe not exactly, but close enough, right? And that's the karma. You moved away from me. You made me think there was something there. You moved away from me. You didn't want to have a discussion. You didn't want to talk about it. Okay, fine. I moved on. I'm not a chaser. I'm not a stalker. I don't care. We were never in a relationship. We were always just friends. So there really wasn't even, there really wasn't anything for me to walk away from relationship wise. And obviously we weren't really friends if he just thought it was okay to treat me like that, right? Here's the thing. He's going to get into a relationship with this woman, and she's probably going to turn around at some point and be like, oh, yeah, I'm going back to my ex. See ya. And when I tell you that she is that type of person to not give 2 shits, she is that type of person to not give 2 shits. Like, I could totally see him having his heart broken how he broke mine. And again, that would be karma. Do I know 100% that that's happening? No, but that's what I feel in my gut. Does that mean he's going to come to me afterwards? No, I don't believe that at all. I mean, I let go and I let God. So whatever happens, happens. But I don't necessarily believe that. You know what I mean? And the thing is will he really learn a lesson? Or will he just use that as an excuse to be more of a playboy and be more angry and more I don't want to say abusive, but more of like a user, And that's the thing. That's the thing. Him getting with this woman, like she's not competent enough to take care of herself. I think she would really flounder. And I'm not saying that she couldn't learn, right? I'm not saying she couldn't get the hang of it and finally figure it out and whatever. But people that have never been on their own, like she went from her parents' house to her man's house, right? They've been together since they were kids, basically. What happens like if you leave him? And yeah, he has to pay you child support because you have 2 kids together. But now you have to pay your own rent. You have to buy your own gas, pay for your own phone, pay your own bills. You know what I mean? Like, unless she could reel in the guy from work right away to help her pay for some of that. Very awkward, sticky situation. But at the end of the day, like, I don't really wish them any ill will. They're going to live their lives the way that they're supposed to live their lives. Everything is meant to be how it's meant to be. And it's not for me to interfere. It would be one thing if the guy came to me, like finally came to me and said, "Hey, I need to say something. Like, can we talk?" And of course I would talk. Like, we should have had this talk a year ago, right? Of course we should talk. I wrote him a letter and I said what I had to say. I was waiting for you the whole time, buddy. I would never deny him that if he wanted to have a conversation. But I wouldn't wish them any ill will. They're going to have their own issues as it is. Like, if you fucked me over and now you're going to get karma for it, I mean, really think about that. I'm just saying. But I don't understand people. And I'm not saying that I wasn't angry about the situation, and I still am a little angry about the situation. But it always here's my thing. This is my opinion. The reason why people hold on to anger for so long in situations is because they don't get clarity. And when I tell you that I've only ever gotten clarity once, and I told you guys this, the one friend whose boyfriend assaulted me, and I told her, she didn't believe me. 2 years later, she came in to apologize. She was very sincere. I told her it was okay. I accepted her apology. I did not take her back as a friend, not because I was being bitter or mean or angry. It's because I had so much other shit going on in my life, with the divorce, with being raped by the guy on my first date after the divorce, the guy that I was seeing in 2023 that I was sure was seeing someone else. Yeah, I was going through work, the cats. I mean, I was going through enough as it was. I just didn't feel, because she had her own stuff going on too, and I know she needed support, but I needed support, and I needed to support myself at the time. So, like, I just had to let that go. And I think I told you guys last fall, winter, like October, November, I reached out to her to see if she wanted to get together, and she said no. And that's okay. You know, 2 people at very different points in their life, just not meeting. It is what it is. Um that's the only time I ever have gotten clarity on a situation. Literally. Literally. The ex-best friend has never come back to say anything. Not that I would want to talk to her at this point anyway. No one. No one. No one ever comes back to apologize. No one ever comes back to say, "Hey, I'm sorry." Nothing. No one. No, people do not take accountability out there. They just don't. If you actually have someone that comes up to you and apologizes and takes accountability for their actions or their inactions, consider yourself blessed. Because, like I said, I've only ever had that once. Once. It's sad. It's really sad. people will all day long make excuses to make themselves look like the victim, the survivor, right? And you're the mean one. You were mean to me, you know? I've had that so many times in my life. The mean one. Wasn't this just miscommunication? Like, isn't this just because two people don't know how to talk to each other? You know what I mean? Anyway, I just don't wish ill will on people like that. And again, even when I have those angry moments, eventually, however long it takes to heal from that, right? That's when you start to realize, like, okay, I'm never getting the clarity. Am I going to hold on to the anger? Because it's not doing me any good. And you just get to the point where you just realize, like, I just need to let it go and move on, and you can't let things go and move on and then still be like, oh, that fucker, they try, this, that, and that. No, like, you need to let it go. You need to let people go. You need to let situations go. You need to let the feelings go. Because bottling that all up inside, it doesn't do anyone any good, Anywho. It just kills me because this is somebody or a group of people that don't want this person to excel in life. And meanwhile, this person is probably just sitting there like, I hope everybody succeeds. Because who cares? Who cares? And I've said this a million times. Competition, like, I don't care what you got going on. Do I want people to live transformative lives, to live amazing lives? Of course I do. But I don't give a shit what you're going on. I don't compare my life to yours. Two very different things, right? Many different things. Like, why would I be out there trying to mimic, copy somebody else's life? It's kind of sick when you think about it. It's just the fact that whomever this is, person, group, like, how are you wishing for people's downfalls? How are you wishing for people to lose everything? And how do you think that's going to help you? I just don't understand people. And the thing is whomever this is, the 10 of cups, the star, the page of wands, the magician, the lovers, you can't break this person. I got news for somebody. You cannot break this person. Because again, this is like divinely given, divinely guided. Like, this is not the person to fuck with. And people just don't understand that. It really, like, I think it really boggles people's minds when they realize, like, just let it go. Like, you should have let it go. I'm going to leave it there. I hope it resonates for someone. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you were entertained. I hope you all have a fabulous evening, a wonderful Wednesday, and I will talk to you later. Bye.